Vermont has a new song that Mr. Libby endorses about acid rain. Instead of raindrops keep falling, the camera running?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, instead of raindrops keep falling on our heads, it's battery acids keep falling on our heads. What does Mr. Lib mean by that, or any scientist? The average pH Vermont rain right now is 4.3 on the pH scale. Any precipitation below 5.6 is considered to be acid rain in the state. Being 4.3 on average means there's some precipitation that falls much lower than that. Tops of Vermont mountains are bathed in fog many, many days out of the calendar year. The average Vermont fog precipitation pH is 3.6. The lowest recorded is down something around 2.3 pH. All of this lower than normal pHs is seriously impacting the quality of Vermont's ecosystems. And the ecosystems most impacted have been on our forest ecosystems towards the tops of mountains. Much of Vermont's blessed with buffers that regulate this onslaught of hydrogen ions through our forests and our streams. But when those buffers get leached away, then you're going to see tremendous dieback. In Vermont, our biggest problem is sulfuric acid, H2SO4, caused by the bulk of the United States electric power comes from burning coal. Coal is dirty. Coal has sulfur in it. The rains from the Midwest electrical producing plants fly over into Vermont and have wrecked our Green Mountain forest and our upland ecosystems. This was documented in the 1960s by the University of Vermont. The professor's name was Hub Vogelman, and one of his students was Mr. Walter Gutzman. They did a baseline study of growth on Camel's Hump, expected to find a pure and pristine forest. Within a reef study of that Camel's Hump, within 10 to 12 years, they found abysmal growth rate. Diebacks on maple trees, both reds and sugar maples, dieback on red spruce, and striped maple, serious drawbacks. Another factor is acid rains leach metals out of our soils. Right now, Vermont has a no consumption of fish for one of our prettiest rivers. That's the Missisquoi. That's, again, because of mercury. That mercury is airborne, comes from burning coal, and you're not supposed to consume much fish out of the Missisquoi. Lead is starting to be a problem for the state of Vermont. That's why they banned lead sinkers. Heavy metals in general are moving into Vermont. So we talked about sulfuric acid in more urban areas, Vermont not having a whole lot, but nitric acid is a problem for many areas with lots of internal combustion engines. That's formed through heat, and you form nitric acid. And then the last acid, the weakest one for Vermont's problem, is carbonic acid, H2CO3. That comes from burning fossil fuels. It does impact acid rain, but we don't burn a whole lot of fossil fuels in the state. What it does impact as a planet, we burn tremendous amounts of fossil fuels planet-wide, and our oceans are becoming acidified. The pH of the oceans right now is still in the basic range. It's a little over 8 on the pH scale, but that's a significant drop. The person who's studying the oceans the most with its acidification is a gentleman by the name of Keeling. It's a father and son team. The father, Charles David Keeling, is instrumental in carbon dioxide made commonly by Al Gore's documentary. Keeling really should get the credit for that. increased carbon dioxide levels globally has changed our climate. His son, Ralph, is continuing the work of his dad and is interested more in the oceans, and the prediction is our oceans will become quite changed with too much acid and having great problems with organisms making their skeletons. In Vermont, balsams, spruce, maple trees are in decline, and they're not sure exactly the mechanism. It might be leaching some minerals away, it might be leaching some metals in. Some research on aluminum needs to be done, and also probably calcium. But acid rain, even in the cleanest state in the country, is a severe impact on our state's forests.